let's see if we can figure out where we left off last time. I killed my phone trying to do this video. So, now I have to remember how I had this arranged. There we go. Alright, so, here is we have our 2 sticks in. This is where we are going to pull the top one out. So we're going to pull this top one out and we're going to beat these down. You see how it's got the angle going? That looks good. We're going to do the same thing on the bottom. So I pulled it out. I'm going to beat it down. You see we got the twist going. So everything's looking good down there too. Alright, so that was the even row. So we're going back to the odd row. So we are going to pull 1 string from the back. So here's 1 string. And we're just going to do the same thing we did the first time. So back, front, back, front, back, front, back, front, back, front. 1 string, not 2. Sick 10-year-old in the background, just in case you don't know what those sound like. Alright, so let's twist it again. Don't do that. We're going to straighten that guy out. Alright, so again, we're going to do the same thing. We are going to put a beater in and tighten it up on the top. And then put a beater in and tighten it up on the bottom. Once you get the bottom beater in, you can pull the top out. I usually leave it until I need it, just because it's there. So the next row is even, so I'm going to pull 2 strings this time. So 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Yes, it's all about rhythm. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Alright, so again, there's 2 in the back because it's an even row. I'm going to slide the top beater out, slide it in where my fingers are, tighten this one up. Once you have the beater in, it'll hold your spot, so it'll be fine. And then I'm going to go down here, so you see I tightened the top. Now I've got 2 rows of angles going. And now I gotta pull the bottom beater out, put it in the top, tighten this down. Alright, so there we go. And that's pretty much all. I'm going to do another couple of rows and then I'm going to show you what it looks like when you've done it correctly. When we spread this out, you'll see why, what I'm talking about. So this is an odd row, so I'm going to start 1 string. And at this point, you start forgetting what row you're on, and that's fine as long as you remember last time you did 1, so the next time you're going to do 2. And then if you've just done 2, then you're going to do 1, and you just go back and forth, 2 strings and 1 string. What that does is it shifts all of the strings to the left, in my case, because I started on the right, so it's shifting everything to the left. When it shifts everything to the left, it creates a little bit of a net. In fact, not a little bit, it creates a net. Which is why it is very popular form of weaving, particularly in, you know, prefabrication times, I guess. The ancient Egyptians used it. I'll go over the history in a different thread so that it's all together, but there's some really awesome stuff. Alright, so let me really quick show you. If you spread this out, you'll see it kind of looks a little bit like macrame. But you see how the twist is working. What's really crazy about sprung weaving is when you take it off of the loom, it can stretch and retract and stretch and retract, and it's wonderfully strong the way it's woven. So you see how it's got the little diamonds in it. This is a very basic sprung pattern. So, yeah, just so you're aware, there's a lot more difficult things that you can do with this, and I'm not there yet, but I've got this basic stuff down. So, you see how the top is working? Just for fun, I'm going to flip it over. So, here's the bottom, and you can see that the pattern has completely repeated on the top and the bottom. So, even though I got that one little string that keeps acting crazy, it is still woven in. So, I see this guy's twisted. So you can see the weave, and you see how it works. So, that's pretty much it. I'm going to do another row or two just so you can see it, and you can back it up and go for it or whatever you want to do. So last time I did 1 string, so this time it's an even row, so I'm going to do 2, 2, 1, and this is starting to get a little tighter, which is kind of where I wanted to go so that I could show you how to loosen it up. But when it's spread out, you see the threads getting shifted. So the top goes to the bottom, and the front comes to the side, which pushes, or the front comes to, ooh, I missed one. What did I do? Alright, we're going to start this row again. I was busy talking and not looking at my fingers. So, I did 1 last time. I'm doing 2. 1, 2, 1. Then maybe that's it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. But you can start seeing the threads shifting to the side, and that's exactly what we want to happen. If you're doing this in a pattern, and if you get bored and start searching online for sprung videos, what you'll see is that people that are really good at it can do patterns. So they will put a specific color in a specific place, and it'll do diagonals because of where the strings end up based on where they started, which I think is really kind of cool. Again, I'm kind of not there yet. I'm still in the basics. So we push this up, we push this up. We're going to take this out and beat this one down. So we're going to beat this one down and beat this one down. Now, what's happening here when I'm talking about getting tight, when these are getting tight enough that I can't get my finger in them, they start also like shifting because they're getting caught on my fingers. And they're getting pretty tight to pull on. So I wanted to show you real quick how to get it to loosen up, and that's what the tension bar is for. So that's what this guy on the top is all about. And that's why I use the strings and don't just tie it across the top. I made that mistake. But it didn't allow me to loosen this. So I need to loosen it now that the weave is getting too tight here. So what I'm going to do, there's a couple of options. Again, you want to try to keep them equal. So you can pull it off a little at a time. I loosen it, and you'll see it's kind of relaxing. I pull it till it's relaxed, and you can test it, and it's kind of wiggly. And then I'll pull this side. And all I'm doing, this is kind of why I like this frame, because all I'm doing is taking this off the top of the cords, and letting the cords relax. So I want it flat again. Once it's flat, I can clip. And if it's too loose, I can roll it and tighten it up, and then it'll just unroll to fix. So there you go. And now you'll see I can get my fingers back through it as easily as I did before. I did 2 last time, so I'm going to do 1. And there you go. I'm going to turn the video off and finish this one, and then I will show you how to get it off of here. And I'll show you again one of the reasons I love this frame over a traditional frame. And actually, to be honest and fair, I have never used a traditional sprung frame, so I can't for sure tell you if I hate it or not. Obviously, it was made that way on purpose, and I'd like to find out what that purpose is, but I haven't won the lottery yet, so yeah, I am not into sprung frames yet, so this one works just fine for what I need. So here we go. I tightened that one. Take this one out, put it in here, and tighten this one. Alright, so I'm going to finish all of this, and when I get this finished, I will come back and turn the video on again. But you can see my sprung is sprung. Ha 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 ha. Just kidding, it's not sprung yet. I haven't taken it off. Anyway, so there you go. Y'all practice, and I will finish this piece and then show you how to take it apart and how to finish it. Yeah. So, see you in a minute.